After Greece and Ireland, Portugal could be next in line for a bailout, and maybe even Spain. Professor Max Otte is one of the most prominent academics in the field of value investing. You're also an independent investor. You've also been called the crisis prophet. Could you tell me, how long is this crisis going to drag on?
Because we have structural problems in the construction of the EU and the euro, this crisis will drag on for a while. We'll deal with the political implications for years to come, but I'm pretty sure that we can save the countries on the margin pretty quickly and then deal with the political implications, but that will occupy us.
OK, so you're an optimist as well as a skeptic, I suppose you could say. If we take a look at state debt for you, though, Greece sits at the top of a mountain of debt. That's no surprise. But Spain's not that bad off and is actually in a better position than Germany if you have a look at the figures. What decides whether a country goes bankrupt?
The problem is it's not that simple. It's not just debt, it's the current deficit, it's foreign debt, it's structural imbalances in the economy. So it's a whole mixture of things that go into that, and that will eventually determine whether a country is bankrupt or not. And that's why we develop indicators now in the EU for that.
So how can a country be set back on firm financial ground, so to speak?
It's very difficult right now. I mean, with Greece, they try to save very hard, they cut budgets and so on. That's not really a comfortable way. The best thing would be to let the margin countries out of the EMU and get them back their national currencies, Greece, Ireland, Portugal, Spain, because they don't belong into the EMU because they're different economies. But I don't think that will happen. So in the end, it will have to be a mixture of austerity and further support.
Others have suggested dividing up the Eurozone. Wouldn't that basically spell the end of the monetary union, though?
Not at all. I mean, I think a return to the D-mark is not possible, but we would have a core euro with the strongest and largest economies, and we would let some of the economies on the fringe go into financial sovereignty, which is good for them because the adjustment will be somewhat less painful, and it would not be the end of European Economic Union.
What about all of the advantages of the common currency, though? Trade, price transparency, for example?
Yes, most of those advantages were there before in the European currency unit when we had fixed but variable exchange rates in the sense that you could adjust them over time. So we had those advantages before the euro.
Now, Germany is one country that really does profit from the euro. What would happen without it if we did turn back to the times of the D-mark, the Deutsche Mark?
Yeah, I don't think the D-mark is realistic. Then the Deutsche Mark would jump, make an enormous jump, and that would really hurt our export industries. But to let go of some of the economies that don't fit into the union, that's a different story. That would not hurt, that would help.
OK, what can be done to prevent countries getting into this mess in the first place? Can debt limits be brought into law, for example?
Yes, but debt limits are lastly a defensive strategy. So in the end, there would be much more closer integration. Maybe we need an economic government, but I'm more for economic sovereignty and cooperation where it's possible.
And just briefly, how's the Eurozone going to look in a decade, do you think?
Oh, a decade is a long time. I think it will hold up the next couple of years, but I don't really know what's going to be. I think in a decade we will split up to some extent.
Max Otte, thank you very much for joining us.